Hi, I'm Shauna Fishhaber with VA Disability Group. Today we'll be discussing the additional state benefits available to South Carolina veterans who have a 100% rating with the VA, as well as a few other benefits veterans should be aware of. We understand that navigating all the available options can be overwhelming. We hope this information will help simplify the process and point you in the right direction to take advantage of these benefits. Visit our website where we will have more detailed information regarding eligibility and application processes. We will have a link in the description box below. South Carolina has 5 state veterans homes. Eligibility is based on clinical need and setting availability. Each state establishes its own eligibility and admission criteria for its homes. Honorably discharged South Carolina resident veterans who need skilled or intermediate nursing home care are eligible for admission. We recommend that you talk with a VA social worker near you about eligibility requirements and to create a payment plan. South Carolina has 3 national cemeteries and 1 state cemetery. National burial benefits include a gravesite in any of the VA national cemeteries with available space, opening and closing of the grave, perpetual care, a government headstone marker or medallion, a burial flag, and a presidential memorial certificate at no cost to the family. Burial benefits are available for spouses and dependents as well. Keep in mind that the state cemeteries' eligibility is similar to national cemeteries, but may include residency requirements. Burial is open to honorably discharged South Carolina resident veterans and their spouses. There is no charge for the veteran's burial and a small fee for the spouse. Dependent children may be eligible for burial as well. South Carolina offers a variety of income tax exemptions to resident veterans. Military retirement pay is exempt from South Carolina state income tax. This deduction can be claimed by a surviving spouse that is receiving military retirement income from their deceased spouse. This exemption does not include any earned income cap or age requirements. Combat pay and certain benefits not included in federal taxable income are also not included in state income taxes. Retirement income paid by the U.S. government for service in the Reserves or National Guard should not be included in South Carolina income taxes. Income received for service in the National Guard or the Reserves for customary annual training, weekend drills, and other inactive duty training is generally exempt. Service pay for non-resident military personnel on active duty in South Carolina who are legal residents of other states may be exempt as well. Veterans deemed totally and permanently service-connected disabled qualify for tax exemption on a home with up to 5 acres. The home must be owner-occupied and either titled solely to the veteran or jointly with a spouse. Permanently and totally disabled veterans can also receive a tax exemption on up to 2 private passenger vehicles as well. Medal of Honor recipients qualify for a tax exemption on a home with up to 1 acre of land. The home must either be titled solely to the veteran or jointly with a spouse. A tax exemption on up to 2 vehicles owned or leased by the recipient can also be claimed. Former prisoners of war from World War I, World War II, the Korean War, or the Vietnam War qualify for the same tax exemptions granted to Medal of Honor recipients. A tax exemption can also be claimed on up to 2 private passenger vehicles owned or leased by the former POW or jointly with a spouse. The surviving spouses of POWs and disabled veterans can qualify for exemptions on up to 1 vehicle solely owned by them. Annual refiling is often required. You can apply in person at your local taxpayer assistance office. We will have links on our website. The South Carolina Military Family Relief Fund provides monetary grants to families of National Guard members and reserve components who were called to active duty because of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. The grants are intended to help families with the cost of food, housing, utilities, medical services, and other expenses that become difficult to afford when a wage earner has temporarily left civilian employment to be placed on active duty. There are 3 tiers to this grant. The status-based grant awards a flat rate of $500. The service member must have been on or is on active military duty for 30 consecutive days or more because of September 11, 2001. The orders must state one of the following: Operation Noble Eagle, Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom Executive Order number 13223, and any future operations as determined by the President or Governor of South Carolina will also be considered. This is based upon rank at the time of mobilization. You may receive a grant once in each fiscal year and only one time for each active duty order. Next is the need-based grant, which awards up to $2,000. The applicant must abide by all the rules to receive the status-based grant. Additionally, you must submit monthly civilian and military pay stubs to show the service member sustained a 30% or greater decrease from their civilian salary. A statement must be submitted about what the grant will be used for. If a custodial parent or guardian is applying on behalf of a member's dependent, then proof of guardianship must be provided. Third is the casualty-based grant, which awards a flat rate of $1,000. To receive the casualty-based grant, you must include all rules listed for the status-based grant. The service member must submit documentation stating that they sustained a service-connected injury or illness. The service member's next of kin must submit a statement that the member was KIA, MIA, or is a POW. The department holds the right to waive the requirement of serving 30 consecutive days of active duty if a written request indicates circumstances that justify it. South Carolina is making veterans a priority for employment within state agencies and institutions. Honorably discharged members of the armed forces who are given employment preference by the United States government will be given preference for employment in every state government agency and higher education institutions. State agencies and institutions must interview at least one qualified veteran for every full-time equivalent position that they post. Eligible veterans must meet the minimum training and experience requirements for the position and must be capable of performing the duties assigned to the position with or without reasonable accommodation. State employees called to or returning to active duty may continue with the state's retirement program if they continue to make payments as normal. State employees can buy credit towards state retirement based on their military time. Up to 6 years of service can be credited for any period of military service. Restrictions on the usage of those years apply. We recommend that you speak with a benefit plan administrator for more information. The South Carolina Department of Public Safety offers a wide variety of specialty plates to military veterans. Certain registration fees may apply. The DMV has made changes to the application process for obtaining military plates. Applications for military plates will only be processed by mail at the SC DMV headquarters in Blythewood. Customers who visit branch offices to obtain a military license plate will receive an application called the MV37, along with further instructions to complete the application by mail. Customers will need to mail the completed MV37 application, the required paperwork, and applicable fees to SCDMV headquarters. Once the paperwork and payment are received, the application will be processed, and the appropriate plate will be sent to the customer by mail. A new parking privilege has been added to certain license plates that will allow free parking in metered areas in South Carolina. The design printed on the top right section of the license plate will indicate that the plate is eligible for free metered parking in South Carolina. Permanent military plates are no longer issued. However, if you have a permanent plate, you are not required to surrender them and will be grandfathered in under the new requirements. Permanent military license plates can be temporarily transferred to new purchased vehicles at dealerships who sell to customers with this plate. It is important to keep in mind that having a license plate that shows you're a disabled veteran is not the same as having a license plate with a wheelchair that allows for parking privileges in parking spaces with handicapped symbols. An additional application is required for this type of plate. We recommend that you contact your local DMV for the needed documentation and applications. South Carolina offers a variety of educational benefits to resident veterans and their dependents. It is important to note that state educational benefits can often be used in conjunction with the national educational benefits, such as the DEA program. If you're interested in learning more about the DEA program, check out our national benefits video. The children of certain qualified veterans may receive free tuition at South Carolina institutions of higher education. Qualified students can attend state-supported colleges and universities, technical education schools, and dual enrollment or early college credit programs prior to graduating high school. Qualifying veterans and students must meet certain residency requirements. All children who are 26 years of age or younger and qualify may receive these benefits. Including residency, the veteran parent must meet one of the following requirements. They are a POW or missing in action. The veteran may have been killed in action, died from other causes while in service, died of a disease or disability resulting from service, or are permanently and totally disabled. Congressional Medal of Honor and Purple Heart recipients will also meet eligibility requirements. Please note that both the student and the veteran, if living, must have established residency in South Carolina for at least the 12 continuous months immediately prior to the date of receipt of the application and still be a current resident of South Carolina. The effective date of this benefit is the date of receipt of the free tuition application. Students must have been accepted and plan to attend the state-supported institution listed on the application. We have links to the online application on our website. To make the application process easier, please keep the next few things in mind. Do not mail or fax in paper applications. Do not submit duplicate applications. Doing so will hinder the processing time. Once applications are submitted, applicants will receive an automated response immediately. Applicants will not receive status updates during processing. Approval letters will be emailed to the institution of choice, and denial letters will be sent to students electronically via email. And lastly, processing times may vary based on the volume of applications received. South Carolina resident veterans who are totally disabled can get a free hunting and fishing license. The license is valid for freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing, state hunting, big game, wildlife management areas, and the migratory waterfowl permit. There is also a disability license that is valid for freshwater and saltwater fishing only. A disability license is valid for 3 years from the date of issue. 3-year disability license holders will automatically receive the free base set of deer tags each year. Lifetime disability license holders must request tags one time. After the initial request, they will continue to receive tags each year. 3-year disability license holders must request their turkey tags each year. Military personnel and their dependents stationed in South Carolina for 30 days or longer, or who are domiciled in the state, are eligible for resident privileges for hunting and fishing. Valid military identification must be presented when applying. Active duty or military personnel who are residents of South Carolina stationed outside of the state and home on leave may present their earnings and leave statement, which must declare South Carolina as their home state and be allowed to fish and hunt throughout the state without purchasing a hunting, freshwater fishing, or saltwater license. Permits are required to hunt big game, migratory birds, migratory waterfowl, and hunt on WMA lands. Tags are required to hunt antlerless deer and turkey. The All-Park Passport is available for purchase at half price for South Carolina senior citizens age 65 and older, those who are legally blind, and 100% disabled residents of South Carolina and active duty members of South Carolina National Guard. If the qualifying person is present, all individuals in the vehicle will be admitted to the state parks without additional charge of admission. A park employee may request identification of the passport holder at the time the passport is presented. These passports cannot be purchased online at half price. You may purchase it at any South Carolina State Park office. Thank you for joining me to discuss the ancillary benefits for disabled South Carolina veterans. Check the description box below for helpful links and to access other helpful tools on our website.